Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Michael and we're going to be getting right back into some more Reddit stories. If you enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Now, without further ado, let's begin. This story was posted by a user named Biscuits and Butters in the relationship advice subreddit. The post is titled, I, 27F, made a stupid joke to my husband, 30M, and he stormed off. How do I fix this? I'm an Instagram snooper, so this is my first time here. I honestly never expected to post here because my husband, 30, and I, 27, have a great relationship. Of course, I can't say we haven't had our occasional bumps, but it's honestly a dream come true all the way through. Our wedding was in April 2021, and we both cried like babies that day. Since then, the sailing has been smoother than soap. This afternoon, he and I came home after a little lunch outing with our newly engaged friends, Kai and Marie. It went great, but was just another outing. Nothing special, though we got some bomb pasta to take back home, which I'm currently shoveling into my gob since it's too chilly for ice cream. We live in a super tiny apartment, so he showered first while I got the leftovers into the fridge and stuff. I went in after him, finished my shower, and put some lotion on my palm. I accidentally squeezed too much and dabbed some of it away. After I rubbed it on my face, I still had some leftover on my finger, and I did exactly what any perfectly sane person would do. On my thumb, I whipped up a little smiley face and some spiky hair to create Lotion Man. I came out of the bathroom giggling about it and said something along the lines of, "Hey, look, it's Lotion Man." He didn't really react, he just looked at my hand and blinked at me. I was honestly just goofing around and started making a silly voice and saying some random stuff sprinkled with some inside jokes. I was blabbing for about a minute before he just up and left. I was, of course, completely oblivious as he grabbed some of his stuff, and I was just smiling and asking where he was going in kind of a playful way. He has a huge truck and we just returned from a trip, so he has enough stuff to last him weeks. It didn't really dawn on me that he was leaving until he drove away. I honestly feel like a fool for making such a stupid joke and then letting him leave just like that. I texted him a few times and he just said that he was thinking about things and that he was at his brother Tyler's place. I've been texting him nonstop, but he hasn't been responding or even reading any of it. He also sleeps really early, so I doubt I can get in contact with him anytime soon. His brother isn't responsive either, so I'm just leaving my phone on the nightstand and holding my breath. I don't think it's really dawned on me yet. I stared blankly at the door for like 10 minutes before I got off my ass and actually tried contacting him. I've been with this man for years and I'm always cracking cheesy jokes. I feel stupid and like shit for making Lotion Man and continuing after no response instead of just shutting up and accepting that I'm unfunny. At the same time, I'm just confused. He's never been at this point even in our rougher patches. The worst we've done is just take breaks from or talk to one another a little less. I wasn't planning on getting into my life, but honestly, I'm just rambling at this point. I'm all for giving him space, but I can't say I'm not hurt that he's just leaving. And the process of divorce is just so annoying. I don't even want to think about this anymore. Was making Lotion Man as big of a mistake as I think it was? Any advice on getting him back home? User J said, I guess I'm missing something important. What was it about Lotion Man that he got mad enough about to leave? Under this comment, a user named Mundane Currency said OP mentioned that he only said he is thinking about things without any other explanation. Although that does tell us a lot if he is willing to leave out of nowhere and text some vague message that doesn't explain anything. He is either telling her things and she isn't listening, or he isn't telling her anything. Either way, communication is not good. A deleted user said, maybe the problem is that you refuse to see the actual issue. Stop saying Lotion Man. This clearly has nothing to do with lotion. I think you're in denial about how problematic your relationship really is. Clearly, it's not that great if he's packing up and leaving in the middle of what you're describing as a normal interaction. User Nidorino said, that's a pretty extreme reaction and it sounds like you didn't do anything wrong. You should perhaps stop texting and see what he says tomorrow. You need to find out why this caused such a reaction, and he should be the one apologizing to you. A deleted user said, I think he's probably sick of the childish behavior, and he decided that the next time you pulled some stupid stunt, he was going to be done. I feel certain that he's probably brought this up thousands of times before, and this was his last straw. About a week later, we got OP's final update. However, I do want to share that there was an update between this one and the first. but it seems to have been deleted. First of all, I'd like to thank you so much for the overwhelming support and sweet messages. I honestly was not expecting this. A lot of you guys also took the time to message me, and I had a lot of great conversations with fellow Redditors. I'm honestly so flattered by how freaking sweet so many of you are. I wish I could have replied to every single one of your comments. I upvoted every one of them though. I think my post got deleted. Some of you asked for pictures of Lotion Man, yet I can't quite find the feature to upload photos on here, but I will as soon as I can. A lot of you had some really interesting theories, and surprisingly most of them were somewhat right. The majority ruled that I should do all three. Confront Kai, Marie, my husband, and Tyler. So I had to get smart with it since a lot of you told me that any one of them could twist the story if they knew there was outside influence. Before I begin, yes, the full story is wacky and honestly doesn't make much sense. I'm just piecing it together via context clues, and I do have some questions left unanswered. Plus, nobody relaying this story is in a good headspace, and to you, it might just seem like a ton of garbled nonsense. I'm just hoping it gets across since I know a lot of people wanted closure on this. When my husband came home, we had a conversation. He essentially said the same story and told me he was open to my marriage counseling suggestion. I gave him a big hug and did the laundry, so I indirectly forgave him. In his eyes, at least. We haven't really set boundaries with our phones, we know each other's passwords and everything, but he would definitely get suspicious if I was just scrolling around on it, so instead I agreed to meet up with Kai first. A lot of you were concerned that he would tell Marie and everything would implode, but Kai is a big gym nut, and I've been wanting to go recently, so I set it up as casually as possible using it as an excuse. He agreed. The next morning, I met with Kai. I sat down with him and told him all I know. Yes, I cried like a baby. Originally, Kai was rigid and tried to poke holes in what I was saying with a few got you questions before he too broke down. Marie didn't tell him a word. That was a big red flag on its own. I then went to Marie with Kai. A few Redditors told me to be as discreet as possible, and so, as one suggestion said, I just blurted out to her that I know everything. She played dumb at first and then eventually broke. You all were right. Marie's trying to settle her crush was a bullshit story. My husband approached her. She told me that he asked her if before she sealed it with Kai if she wanted to have a night with him and another woman. Here's the kicker. Marie said yes. But wait, that's not all. Apparently, Marie has been cheating on Kai for a while with men and women, and my husband has also been cheating frequently. They covered for each other and occasionally met up. At the last moment, she declined because she wanted to be loyal to Kai now that they were engaged, as if she wasn't cheating for the majority of the relationship, and my husband got all pissed off for a while before saying he's just locked in his apartment now. Cue me showing him Lotion Man. He snaps and gets out of there. Kai and Marie are both arguing in tears and red in the face. I told them sorry that I butted into their relationship and that I'll handle my husband myself. I found Tyler before sunset. He told me yes, his brother stopped by, but only around 11 p.m. He left at around 8 p.m., so those 3 hours went fuck all. Tyler told me that he was angry and didn't tell him anything. I then gave him some context, and he said that maybe he was driving around for a while. It doesn't sound like my husband to drive as relief, but I'm willing to look into it since the future was already looking pretty bleak. I went home. I Googled something on my husband's phone. Instead, I was just checking if any of them had contacted him. Nothing, thankfully. I would have gone into more depth, but that would have to wait. Instead, I tried to keep him busy for the duration of the day. Remember how I said he sleeps really early? Well, that worked in my favor. I took his phone that night while he was snoring his ass off. Ran into a million dead ends. I knew I was missing something, but just couldn't find it until finally opening his hidden photos. His story explodes into pieces. What did I find? Nudes, nudes, more nudes, even more nudes, all of one girl. Not me, shocker, but not Marie either. I don't recognize her. Let's call her Allison, considering Allison was my second grade best friend who was actually a snake. They're not the same person, just so I can call her something when I refer to her in the story because I don't actually know her name. She's absolutely gorgeous. Red hair, hourglass figure, you name it. I'm obviously broken. I traced her back to a contact. I feel sick. There it is, an affair. He's been contacting her since February, days before I surprised him with a Valentine's thing that I had been using up my paychecks for and thinking I was the luckiest woman alive. It fucking sucks. I can't even read more, but I toughed through it. Then I hit it. November 3rd, 2 days after the last nude. She's pissed off. She found out he was married all along. She was in love with him. I would feel bad for her, but she didn't even bother trying to contact me out of love. Ergo, hubby has a genius idea. He told Allison that he'll bring his wife over in a hotel to show that his wife doesn't care about the affair. Sound familiar? So I assume when Marie canceled, there was nothing he could do. He became whiny and begged her to come. He told Allison that there was an inconvenience and they'd meet up another day. Then the lotion man. He got pissed off at me and left. I don't know what he did after that, but whatever it was, he wasn't with either of them. Then he went to Tyler's place, slept it off, and came back afterward. Now I'm staying with Kai. He's as hurt as I am. I feel for him too. His wife was his world. We were hugging and crying for a while, ranting about God knows what, just trying to get ourselves together, to be honest. He tried to lighten the mood by making lunch, and it was really nice. He's a wonderful cook. I showed him the other 2 posts, and he got a kick out of some of your comments. As far as I know, my soon-to-be ex-husband is with Marie for now. I don't care about either of them, and honestly, it's kind of therapeutic just having some kind of closure and not walking on eggshells like I have been for the past few days. Kai and I are going to the gym tomorrow to do some relaxing yoga and hopefully figure out what to do next. We've both taken off from work. I'm sorting out my finances and hopefully I should get the ball rolling to finally split from my husband and be able to call him my ex. I'm still so frazzled. I have at least half a dozen pictures of him and me on my desk, and our wedding picture is my lock screen on pretty much all of my devices. I know my students will notice his sudden disappearance from my life, and I'll have to tell them that the guy I've been raving about for the past forever is divorcing me. I'll have to tell all my family and friends. Kai is my rock in this whole thing and will eventually have to part ways, which hurts me because he's honestly my #1 support system in all of this. Living arrangements, actual divorce costs, law stuff, and therapy. I still have a lot to go through. I can't believe I thought the relationship was perfect. It's really therapeutic to just write this all down. But Reddit, thank you so much. I've already talked about how much support I received, but honestly, some of your guys' honesty and compliments have, for lack of better emphasis, honestly saved my life. I would have been with cheating scum, and Kai would have been too. This place is so awesome, and there's so much to be seen here. So many nice people checking in on me and wanting to keep up with my story. I'll be coming back for more advice someday, though just know I've seen all of your sweet words, and I'll continue lurking around for a long time. But this should be my final update for now. TLDR, husband left me alone after I told him a stupid joke. He blames it on needing to think about things after our mutual friend Marie asks him out. Turns out he was the one who asked Marie out for a threesome. He has an affair partner, Allison, who fell in love with him and found out he's married, and he wanted Marie to pose as me to show that his wife is cool with it so he can keep Allison. Marie accepts but then declines at the last moment, pissing him off. He has a redhead fetish he never bothered telling me about and therefore cheats to fulfill it. I'm looking into divorce and staying with Marie's ex-fiancé, Kai. Yes, I don't understand it much either, and I don't know how this all went on under my nose. Userabe said, "What a jerk. Sorry for everything you had to go through, but at least now you're out of there. If it makes you feel any better, telling more people about it might actually help you move past this. The dude was a serial cheater and deserves to be put on full blast. I know it's also uncomfortable, but you should probably get tested if you haven't already. Best of luck." Under this comment, OP said the following: "Thank you so much. It's bittersweet, but I'm warming up to it, I guess. I've told my family and friends that we're divorcing due to his infidelity, and a lot of them have told me they've stopped contacting him. They were very vocal about their opinions. Kai and I got tested for STDs yesterday, and we're still waiting for our results. As far as I know, Marie had more partners than my soon-to-be ex, so I'm really worried for Kai, but he assures me he's physically feeling fine, and whatever happens, happens." User Pootoon said, "I've read all of your posts about this, and I just want to say you're an incredible woman and human being. You've handled this far better than I or anyone I know would have. I admire your courage and maturity through all of this. I'm also happy that someone as amazing as yourself is finally away from that scummy piece of shit ex-husband. You talk about how these women are beautiful and how you're not them, but you're so much better than them and that. I'm straight and I want to marry you. Your personality really shined through, and Lotion Man made me laugh because I would do the same exact thing. From one Reddit stranger to another, I am sending all the love and luck with this whole situation. I'm glad you have a support system. It said you would have to stop talking to Kai, but I don't see why you guys can't still remain friends after all of this, especially because I feel like only you two truly know what the other is going through. I low-key wish I could be your support system. You seem like such an incredible person to be friends with, and please do not settle for anyone that isn't half as amazing as yourself in the future. You are a queen, and I'll be damned if the next person in your life doesn't treat you like one. This next post was made in the True Off My Chest subreddit by a user named Kid Awesome. The post is titled, "My GF slept with her celebrity crush. I'm still in shock. I'm heartbroken. My girlfriend and I have been dating for 4 years. We live together. During that time, she has been obsessed with a very minor YouTube musician. He has a few videos with a couple million views and a small following. During our entire relationship, she has always claimed that he was her exception. I always assumed it was a joke. I'd fire right back with my celebrity crush. Well, he went on tour and played in the city near us at a small venue. She went with a co-worker to see him. After the concert, she didn't come home that night or answer my texts. I assumed she slept over at the co-workers since she lives closer to the venue. She came home the next morning and didn't talk about the concert much. I asked questions and got vague answers, which was odd. I assumed she was tired. Later that day, she broke the news to me. It was bizarre. She said it with a smile on her face as though I was going to be happy and excited for her. I am heartbroken. I was yelling. We were both crying. She said she didn't know how I'd react, but she didn't think it would be this extreme. She said I always knew he was her exception. I didn't think she was serious. I am currently staying in a motel and I don't know what to do. I love her so much, but I cannot think about her without thinking about what she did. She has tainted my memory of her. I cannot help but think that clearly she does not love me unconditionally like she claims she does, because this is not love. Clearly, I am not the one she is obsessing over, even though she is the one who I have always obsessed over. If I am not enough for her, then I don't know if I ever will be, and it clearly seems as though I am not enough for her. I am lost. I am hurt. I am alone. Edit. Just wanted to thank everybody so much for the support. This blew up like I never imagined, and the support that flew in was unbelievable. I'm hurt and still heartbroken. I don't know if anything will heal this, but I was never expecting this amount of support. Thank you to everybody. User Jeremy said, I had a female friend whose crush was Christopher Ingle from Never Shout Never. He came to Columbus, Ohio once where she luckily got to meet him. He brought her up on stage and even asked her to go back to his hotel with him. I was honestly in awe. She's a cute, bubbly, free-spirited girl with beautiful blue hair, so it doesn't surprise me how she caught his attention. She declined him. She was engaged at the time of this whole thing, and I admired the hell out of her for it. More people need to understand that just because someone is famous doesn't mean it would be okay if, by some miracle, you get to sleep with them. Sorry, OP, you need to break up with her. Edit. Some of you guys are way too hung up on the most insignificant part of my comment where I said I was proud of my friend for not going with him that night. Yes, not cheating should be the norm, but it doesn't always mean it is. Being a good person should be the norm too. Am I not allowed to praise someone for having basic human decency then? I'll encourage any good decision or behavior. End of story. A deleted user said, sorry to be so bold, but by her way of telling you that she cheated and her reaction, she doesn't seem to be the brightest. Break up, you deserve better. She would do it again for sure. Another deleted user said, she said she didn't know how I'd react, but she didn't think it would be this extreme. She could have phoned you before it happened to make sure it was okay if that's what you're into. She could have even told you when she got back. She knew she did wrong. That's why she kept silent until the guilt really kicked in. It's not about being honest with you, it's about relieving her own guilt. She does what she wants, then asks for forgiveness after. It's a complete lack of empathy. Do you really want to be with someone like that? You're in love with the idea of her, the one you've created in your head, not the real her. If anything, she's not good enough for you.